Hi, I'm Marian McPartland. My guest today is Jack Dejohnette, one of the most original, inventive, and highly respected musicians on the scene today. Not only is he a great drummer, but he's a creative, skillful pianist, as you will hear. Jack, it's nice you could be here with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm really glad to be here today, and I'm looking forward to having some musical fun today.
And you know what's a kick? Something, we never do this, have a drums and piano and bass. We have wonderful bassist, Christian McBride. How are you?
Hi, Marian. How you doing? I'm good.
That's good. Well, you're originally from Chicago.
Right.
And I was just thinking, I came there from England in 1946, and I guess you were still a very young kid at that time.
I was born in 42, so
see?
I was 4 years old then.
Just a kid.
Yeah, I started studying piano at the age of 4 from a concert pianist, a teacher named Viola Burns, who, lucky for me, lived right around the corner from our house on 51st in St. Lawrence. Of course, I used to listen to the music a lot when I was a young kid. When we had a Victrola, my uncle was a big jazz fan and used to have all the old National and OK and Decca 78 records. And even though I couldn't read, I could tell what color the label was and how far the grooves were. So I used to play early Duke Ellington and Tommy Dorsey and Slim Gaillard.
My God.
So I was listening to this when I was like 6, 7 years old, and just fascinated by it. I didn't even know it was jazz at the time, but, I was just fascinated by that music.
Well, boy, you've done so much and worked with so many groups, and it's nice that you're here today to be able to play some piano, too. What do you say we do a number with the two pianos and Christian on bass? We could do one of your things because you were with Miles Davis for quite a while.
Yeah, but this particular tune we're going to play, Freddie Freeloader, was written by Miles. A lot of people think he was a fictitious character, but actually there exists, and I believe he's still alive today, Freddie Freeloader.
No kidding.
Really named Freddie Freeloader. I knew him. He used to come when we were playing. And he loved the music, and his vibe was always nice, He's always there, really cheering the musicians on.
Well, that's a good person to have around.
Yeah.
Well, let's play this thing. I'm dying to try it. How should we get into it?
Okay, well, I'll kind of start it off and then, set the tempo, and then, we'll all come together.
Okay. turned out real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
It's a fun song to play.
It is. It is. Well, it's a sort of a little different twist on the blues, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Miles always kept coming up with these things.
Yeah, different changes, different. It was always little left turns. You know, that's why I got along so well with playing his music, because I like to, come up with the unexpected, and that's he was definitely one you could count on for that.
I would imagine so. Well, I read something that was interesting to me, that you'd like to play against the music rather than keeping like a...
Yeah, it was a kind of a thing where, sometimes when you play with drummers, and I knew it from both sides because I played piano professionally, before I switched to drums, and then I added the drums later. Yeah. So I had the opportunity to play with a lot of different drummers. Yeah. And, when you play like a figure, where you might play, say, and the drummer would then play that figure.
Yes.
And what you call the drummer would crowd that figure, because, that was that response and answer, call and answer kind of response. And it's okay for some things, but I more like a dialogue, where there's a contrasting rhythmic or melodic, harmonic thing going on, which creates a tension. You're still playing with the music, but you're also playing, sort of say, contrary to it as well. You're creating this sort of matrix.
Well, I sort of identify with that, because sometimes, you'd play something and you would really hate to hear the drummer play it right after you.
Yeah.
Or join in and do the same figure you're doing.
Yeah, I prefer the drummer to play something complementary to that, unless it's something that's written that we want, or we have eye contact and, then your drummer knows you mean for them to play that,
Well, let's just do another tune.
Sure.
That felt so good. To dare to do another one.
Sure.
How about
let's do it.
I Love You, Porgy.
Okay.
Want to try that?
Sure.
Okay. such a great tune.
It certainly is.
And you play that you play wonderfully with a lot of great soul, and I love to hear that, nice.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of
have
great
to
feeling.
come from that. Yeah, well, that's a beautiful song.
Well, of course, that's something else Miles did. He did that whole album.
Yeah, and let's not forget the contribution of Gil's wonderful arranging.
Though that was one of my favorite albums. That and by Gil Evans. And what was the other one? I can't think of the name of it.
Oh, it was Miles Ahead.
Miles Ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I used to play those by the hour, over and over and
some
over again.
Great arrangements on that.
This is such a wonderful day, and having something altogether new. I guess you'd all like to know what's happening. My guest is Jack Dejohnette, and we have a wonderful bassist, Christian McBride. I'm Marian McPartland, and this is Piano Jazz.
Marian, this next piece we're going to do, It Could Happen to You, is an interesting, it's a standard, it's popular standard, but this tune has great lyrics too, right? It says, hide your heart from sight, lock your dreams at night, it could happen to you.
Yeah, lovely lyric.
All I did was wonder how our love could be, and it happened to me, or, something like that.
That sounds like one of your tunes that, has meaning in your life or something. The way you remember all those lyrics.
Well, I used to sing them. I used to play.
You sing
I used to
too.
play piano bars and sing. Standards.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
That's...
So and I sing too. I'm singing on my next not special edition, but it's a special recording called Fifth World on Capital EMI Blue Note, and I'm doing some singing on that.
Are you going to sing this one?
Oh no,
Well,
not on this one.
All right. Well, let's.
We're here to play.
Okay.
Play the pianos.
Okay.
So shall we do It Could Happen to You?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Boy, that really is a great tune to play on.
Yeah,
Really
it's a
is.
tricky tune to play.
It's tricky, yeah. Yeah. I haven't played that one in a long time, but there's so many wonderful tunes if you don't ever play anything but standard tunes. There's like millions of them. And you worked with Bill Evans too. I was just thinking.
Yeah, with Eddie and Eddie Gomez, and we played quite a few standards too. You know. And,
I know. Well, let's sort of with a nice. Thinking about Bill, we could play this tune he did, one of his many great tunes, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Gee, that's such a pretty tune. And you know, I'm getting spoiled today. I don't get to do this with another pianist and a bass player. It's just too much. I'm just enjoying it too much.
Yeah, well, that's where it should be.
I guess it is, Jack. You know, we've gone so far in the show, and you haven't played a single lick on the drums.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
we
about
should
time
get
we
into
should do
that.
that,
I'm really
yeah.
looking forward
I'm up
to it,
for that.
because I never got to play with you, and this
Yeah.
is a big thrill for me.
Okay, so we're going to do one of your tunes, right?
Okay, yes. It'll be nice to hear how this sounds with you on drums.
Well, I'm going to slide over here.
Okay, this one's a brand new arrangement with Jack Dejohnette and Christian McBride. This one's something I wrote called Ambiance. You know,
So-
it's so much fun to play one's own tune
Oh, yeah.
and hear it done like that with that kind of rhythm section. It
Oh,
was
you played
wonderful.
great
Thank
on
you.
that.
Well,
you
you
just
made
like-
me. You know, it just sort of. I think that's what happens. You pick up incentive or ideas or whatever from the other person.
Oh yeah, well, it sure came through. You
Well-
know, you were really like really inspirational. Yeah, it was really fun.
This is really a kick having a trio for a change, having such wonderful guests. My guest is Jack Dejohnette and bassist Christian McBride. I'm Marian McPartland, and this is Piano Jazz. You know, we talked about Bill Evans before, and we talked about Miles Davis's album, Kind of Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tune that has really prevailed and lasted, and everybody plays more than any of the others, don't you think?
Yeah, I know that the blue and green.
Blue and Green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
interesting.
sorry.
I don't know. It's a rumor. It's a sort of kind of a mythic story about that tune. That those were Bill's changes, and Miles put the melody on top of it.
It's funny you said that because the very
and
thought was
Bill
going.
says that's, he put the changes, and Miles just blew over it, and that became the melody. And
Yeah, well,
they
I
kind
heard.
of co-wrote that, but I mean, I don't know. Miles takes credit for it, but Bill, I think, said otherwise. But he didn't. You know, it wasn't. You know, a big deal.
I guess he didn't challenge Miles to a duel or anything like that over it. But I do remember Bill saying something about that. But anyway, I'm just dying to hear how we'll do this with two pianos.
Yeah.
But
that's it.
this is going to be nice.
I guess we'll do this in 4/4. Sometimes they do it in 3,
Yeah,
but
I like it better as
yeah,
this
sure.
moody kind of 4. All right. Oh, that was nice. Just like you said. God, this is such a kick. Now, what have we got coming up? You were talking about Bill Evans before. Was that live at Montreux?
Yeah, that was really wonderful. Funny thing about that, I wish we had recorded actually after. We did Montreux first, and then we went to Ronnie Scott's in London and did 4 weeks there, which I have some private tapes of those weeks of Bill, some incredible.
Oh, my
Bill,
goodness. You better not say that out loud to people.
Just amazing.
Goodness. Well,
stuff.
To be there for 4 weeks with him.
Oh, playing every night. I mean, it was just like, it's really amazing,
Well, I was thinking before when we were talking on the phone and you played a little bit of one of your tunes, Silver Hollow. And what is that, the name of the street where you live? Yeah,
we live up in the mountains in a little town, outside of Woodstock, New York, called Willow. And the street that we live on, well, it's not a street because
not a street, actually.
We're like 3 miles up in the mountains, with birch trees and deer and bear and great place to.
It must be tough to get in the car or take the train or whatever down to New York.
Not really. I mean, I can come to New York and enjoy New York, and I know I don't have to stay here. I just jump in my car and I can go back up.
Well, it's, I've got an idea because I've been in on every tune, and I would really love to hear you and Christian play this on your own, and I'll just sit and listen. This Silver Hollow. It really doesn't.
All right.
Okay.
Give us a change of pace. Sure.
I'd just love to sit and listen to it.
Okay. Great.
Gee, that's such a pretty piece, that Silver Hollow. Now you're going to have to write another piece and call it Willow for the town. You're lucky. You live in such a place with such pretty names. It just sounds gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. It is wonderful.
Well, I've had such a good time this afternoon. And
so have I.
Have you really?
It's really been really special.
It's a kick in heaven.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Christian
It's really been great having Christian here, too.
Isn't it great?
We've been wanting to play together for a while. So it sets up a nice opportunity.
Well, let's wind up with, you suggested this. This is a John Coltrane tune, isn't it? Mr. PC.
Yeah, named after, bass great
Yes.
Paul Chambers.
Oh, boy. I used to love that guy. He was somebody that would play right up and down the bass with no change. You would appreciate this, Christian. He had, you've heard him, haven't you? He had that even sound, like from the bottom of the bass all the way up to the top.
His choice of notes, too. Really.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everything. Well, okay. Mr. PC. Okie doke. Oh, that was wonderful. Thanks so much, Jack.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Yeah, you really stretched on that one.
Well, I had all the help in the world from you and Christian McBride. This has really been a kick. Thanks.
My pleasure.